stream, and welcome to you who have come to stream. Anything is possible at my stream. You can do anything at my stream. The infinite is possible on my stream. The unattainable is known on my stream. Welcome to my stream. This is my stream.
What's up, everyone? Bradley Jack Design here with another lovely chat stream. Hopefully we get some folks in here. Let me pop out chat so I can talk to you guys, and hopefully chat is working on the stream this time. The viewer's already working, so it says one person's here, so it's always good to see. So today we're gonna do a some sort of Olympic card is what we're gonna make. Whether it's, we're going to make a card that is going to be scalable so we can swap out any country, we can swap out any player, and make it so it could be a set. So if we want to make a card and put Nova Lyles on it, we can do that. If we want to put something on and put Rebecca Andrade on there, we can do that as well. Hello. Let me put this down here so you can see what I'm saying. I'm assuming the person watching right now is my nephew and brother, so welcome. Yes, I know I can't do that. So I think what I want to do, yeah, that's better. Okay. So I have eBay up just to find sports cards about what it exists. Oh, Jacob's here. Good, great. No. So like, these are cards you can buy right now. Best match. I'm going to do highest first. I just want to see what the highest card you can get. And this is a Bruce Jenner card someone's just selling that they have no idea what the price is. Let's do auction. Can I do with bids? Let me just go to sold. Sold. This is going to give me sports cards that have sold recently with the highest price. So a lot of it's going to be like Michael Phelps's like sort of rookie card. This is going to give us an idea of what we can kind of do. This is Sports Illustrated for kids. Basically, here's his name. Here's a cool photo we found. A lot of it is going to do with photography, but I kind of want to make it so we can do whatever. These are like random lots. I did see, if we go back, there was a Simone Biles card. So like this card here. This card ends in 3 days. Good time to sell Simone Biles cards. The only thing this card has relating to Simone is it says Simone's name and this photo up here. This is a patch that was commemorative flag was made for this trading card. But it's not like it has anything to do with Simone. So this card's not worth $800. But whatever. Like here's one of Jordan. You know, photo of Jordan, place for signature, name, all millennium, metal universe. So that's great. So what kind of name can we give this? You know, we've got something to do with the Olympics. You can see what I usually search for. So I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. Give me ideas. I want you to act as a marketing manager for a sports card Olympic theme set, and I want you to generate 15 ideas for a name of a sports card. The name should be short, parentheses 1 to 2 words, and alliterations are good. See what this does. Gold glory, silver stars, bronze billions, metal moments. See, metal moments is pretty easy. Champion chase, record runners. Make them less cheesy. See if this knows what it's doing. Torchbearers would be good. Torchbearers is kind of a cool thing. I like how it goes from 1 to 0, 1 to 9, and then back to 0 again. Podium stars would be good. Maybe we do that. Let's go with podium stars. So let's go back to Photoshop. As you can see, I've got a file set up here. This is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm actually going to change that to 2.75. I'm going to do that in the canvas. I'm going to add 1/4 of an inch on each side, and that's going to give us a little bit of a bleed now. So if we want to print this, theoretically we can do that. So I'm going to go up to View, Guides, New Guide Layout. This is how I set up guides on pretty much everything I do. So this is the bleed right here. This 1/8 inch bleed. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to add another guide layout. 2.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. That's going to give us a little bit of padding from the edge of the card. And then we're going to do even more padding. So 0.375, 0.375, 0.375. So this is what this is. And actually I want guides from the top and bottom. So without hitting clear existing guides, I can just hit 2. And I can just save this as sports card template. There. Now I have this file saved. And I can just use this for the future. So I like to add a solid color. We're just going to make it black, turn that into a smart object, set the fill to 0, and then go down and give this a stroke, an internal stroke. You can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. We're just going to change the color to something like pink. This is just a guide. We'll make it cyan. And this is going to be 37 pixels. Oh, not 37 pixels. Was it 75? I must have settings different. I have my resolution set to 300 instead of 72. So this is going to be the bleed. So anything that's in this blue is not going to exist. So that's why we put it at the top. So if we have something underneath it, this is what our card looks like. Great. So we want to do podium stars. Podium stars. Podium stars. That we came up with? When I mean ChatGPT. Great. Okay, so podium stars. I like to draw boxes when I design because I can set them to guides and make sure if I want this dead center, it's dead center, and play around with it from there. I'm just going to make this font just like this for now. We're going to change it anyway. So what we want for this is we want a couple different things. I'm just going to note them here. We want place for photo. We want name of card. I didn't realize Photoshop did this actually. If you make a list, it's making a list for me. I don't know, Photoshop updated or what? I don't think I've seen that before. Signature area. Flag placement. It's probably going to be like just a pattern. So place for photo, name of card, name and country. These are the main things we need on this. And then details pertaining to name. So whatever the name of the card is going to be, we're going to have it on there. So if we look at cards that exist, that's what we have. Name, the name of the card, photo placement, details pertaining to the card, and then a signature area. Now these are theoretically going to be on card. So I might do something where it's a white area for people to sign. So like this. What is this? Oh, it's a Tory Husk photo. A little bit blurry signature on there. But you can see in this card, if they sign this in the person, you can just have this white sort of area down here. So we're going to emulate that. But I need to figure out who to do the photo for first. So this is podium stars. So this might be something where we want to have a medal on it. Medal. Question mark. Oh, I can see I don't need to do that anymore. Okay, so we've got our medal. Cool. So I made the other day, let me pull those up. I made some cards, some card designs. Just go to my Twitter. Tweet too much. So this is sort of what I like what, this is something different. Side note. So like this is what Tyson Beck does, it makes. So he's got place for his signature, big area, which is great because he has inscriptions on this. He's got this just named Hall of Fame inscriptions, card by him, his logo. And then these little detail areas where the shimmer comes through on the cards. You can see it better in the background here where it goes across the whole thing. So this isn't fully opaque white. It might be a 75% layer or something like that. But I made these guys. So like I already did something like this. So gold medal in the back, place for a flag, name, team. Don't have USA on here, but it's a flag here. Probably could have had a spot for that. Gold medal. So we're going to do something similar to this, but we're going to have a nice little area with the intention of this being a signed card. What shape do we want that signature to be? You know, if I just showed you the sort of Tyson Beck card, he's got this nice little cutout shape where they can sign. It's not just plain like this. Like this is fine where it's just a square that's blurred. Nice soft spot for someone to sign. But let me scroll down here. So these are all like Simone's rookie card is what this is. Maybe actually be interesting to get something like this made because they just now came up with this Topps Chrome Olympic, which is what a lot of these cards are coming from. But like, I don't know how many gymnasts are in it. Now people don't, for the most part, care, except for like right now. So like, if you have a Simone Biles card, put it on eBay today. You know, put it on eBay last week. You should have sold it already. Like this right here. This is a Simone Biles Topps rookie card, sort of. It doesn't say rookie on it anywhere, but this is the first card that she has, probably. Photo, Team USA, stuff like that. So let's find a photo of Simone to start. I'm gonna go to my bookmarks. I'm gonna go to Google Advanced Image Search, and I'm gonna do Simone Biles. I'm gonna go down to image size. I'm gonna look for stuff that are 6 megapixels or larger. So this is now just gonna show me on the internet, on Google, only images of her that are 6 megapixels or larger. I'm gonna go to tools again, go to anytime, and I'm just gonna look for photos from the last week. And for this, we're gonna make it simple. I think I want just photos of her with the medal she wins. So like this is a great photo. Excited, sort of thing. We might grab that one. You know, the biting photo. It'd be cool if we did something, you know. So when I come up with names of cards, I do this for, I would recommend doing this for any sort of campaign. Or if you're making a logo or anything. Like we use ChatGPT to find a quick name. Great. Podium stars. Awesome. What if we did something where it's them, you know, biting their medals to prove they're real gold? What if we did something with that? Tastes like gold. Something like that. You know, maybe the card is called Tastes Like Gold. Tastes like silver. Tastes like bronze. Again, we would need to be sure we can find images for it. Like this wouldn't make sense for Tastes Like Gold. You know, it would have to be them with the photo. So like this is good. I'm going to go up to, I'm going to right click, hit open image in new tab. I'm going to do the same for this one. Open image in new tab. So this is the photo of Simone zoomed in, really high quality, which is nice. This one is a little fuzzier just because of the ISO settings. This is a much better like reaction photo. Like I like this photo better. So we're going to download this. We're going to toss it into our card. So I'm going to hide this layer here, just our little list. So we've got it in the card here. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to use our select subject tool, which I've used to replace the
quick select,
which is the best way to cut something out. I'm going to now grab the quick select tool. I'm just going to punch out some of these areas. So with the quick select tool, if you just click, it'll select an area. If you hold down the option key, it'll erase. So I can say, I want this part. The issue is she's got a blue jacket on, and then you know, the bands for the medals are blue. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to fix it anyway. But like, it selected her for the most part pretty quick. So I'm going to zoom in here with the refine, select and mask, refine edge tool is what they used to call it. It used to be called the extract tool, I think, back in 2006. I think I went to a Photoshop conference where I think they like sort of debuted this. And it was a really funky tool, but I think that helped me understand how to use this tool a little bit better. This refine edge brush, which I'll use in other spots. I'm not going to use it here. And I have this set up with my view mode set to overlay. I like overlay. Some people like these other views. You can see the hotkeys next to it if you want to see those. But I like using the overlay view, and I set my color to something that is not whatever the subject is. So for the most time, this pink works. I had it red for a while, and it should be like by default red. But I was making something with like a Cincinnati Reds player or something like that. Or like I was cutting out like Mike Trout or Bryce Harper, and I couldn't see where the line was because he has a red jersey on. So I'm just going to go back through here and just sort of paint back in these areas. And I'm holding down the Option key to paint in the pink. And I'm just clicking with my mouse on the other parts to paint them back in. So Option adds pink, which is going to be outside of the selection. And anything that is not pink inside is going to be what's going to be inside the selection. So for the most part, you can see I'm holding down the space bar, which is why this is flowing so many space bars around here. So we only need like the top half of this image, so I don't really care about the bottom. So I basically want to make sure the metal's cut out nicely. I'm going to just come around the edges here. I like to use the edge of a circle. So if you make a huge circle like this, the edges of these circles are pretty flat. Like the tops and bottoms, they're not like really sharp, harsh edges. So I like to use those. Oops, I moved Keycaster. Let's put you back down here. Where we at? Right there. I like to use that because they give nice smooth edges. So her hair, we're just going to, as one of my old instructors would say, we're just going to fake the funk on that. Just going to tidy it up really. Also here, like, do we need the back of her earring? No. Just do the front. It's fine. No one's going to know. Put this here. Got her ear on here. Okay. So what does her hair look like here? So I know a lot of people like complain about like, oh, Simone, your hair doesn't look good. And it's like, yeah, it's hot and humid. What do you want? So we're just going to make her hair kind of nice and smooth for her. Put a little bit of her bun pony back here. Like this, and we're going to smooth this out. We're actually going to smooth this out. We can always fix this because we're going to set this as a layer mask anyway. So we can kind of do whatever we want. Now here, do we want to have this just sort of nice little smooth area, or do we want to have this sort of fade in like this? It's all just going to depend on what looks natural. So with the quick select, like I didn't touch any of this over here. Like this is just all the selected mask, and it did a really good job, which is why I use that over the pen tool, because the pen tool sucks. You can always just go back in and fix sort of sharp corners very easily. So this is just faster than using the pen tool, which is why I use it. But if you're getting paid hourly, you know, use the pen tool because you're getting paid hourly. It's just going to take you longer and you'll get paid more. But for something like this, we want to be a little bit quick with it. So I'm going to hit enter, and I had my settings for this already. Let me go back into selected masks. Down here at the bottom, you can hit output to. So down here, you can select new layer mask. With layer, new document, selection. I do layer mask because I'm going to turn it to a layer mask anyway. It just skips a step. So now we have this photo of Simone. Her hair might be a little bit funky. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to save this file to my desktop, go back here, right click my file, replace the content. So I'm replacing this JPEG with this Photoshop file of Simone. So now we have this file of Simone. Now I'm going to make a new smart object be a copy, and that's going to have these be two separate smart objects. And go here. I'm going to duplicate this layer, Command J, and delete this layer mask. And I'm going to go up to the channels, and I'm going to see if I can actually sort of select this hair. So if you go into the channels, you can select, and I'm trying to find something that's going to contrast with the background. It's not doing a great job. This works down here, but not up here. Which one of these? So I'm going to do blue. I'm going to right click this, duplicate this channel. Just name it blue copy. Image calculations. Now, calculations is going to allow me to take this blue layer and multiply it or overlay it or screen it on top. So this is going to allow me to do is basically I'm looking here and I want the most contrast. So I want the background to be really white and her hair to be really dark. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so I can make a selection out of this. So I'm going to set this to overlay. Invert it. Now you could do, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do in here. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go to, I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Image calculations. It's going to make it even darker. It's using the alpha channel 1. But maybe I just want blue copy or blue. I think I'm hitting there. Oh, it's basically making it, it's combining two together. So I want one of them to be this alpha channel. And then one of these to be the alpha channel again. Maybe not. Maybe we do alpha channel, but maybe we do screen. This is a lot of just sort of playing around with what's going to look the best. I'm gonna do soft light and see if that does anything at all. But here's what we're doing essentially. We're gonna make a selection off of that and we're gonna mask it. If I invert this and go down here and add a solid color to the background, we've got like what her hair actually looks like. Now it's still pretty busted. So maybe we're not gonna do this. So instead, let's delete this. I'm going to, we'll delete the layer mask. I'm gonna set this to 50%. I'm gonna turn this layer back on and I'm gonna set this to white. And then I'm going to put this into a group. It doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna invert the group. So this is the photo behind it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint hair back in. I'm gonna do it using a hairbrush I have made. That is actually a photo of James Harden's beard. And I can paint back in parts of Simone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna accidentally crop for no reason. We're gonna paint with white like this, and we can paint hair back in. So I can go up here and sort of paint back in where her ponytail is. We should probably put this little mark in the back, but I'm gonna make it look more like a bun. I can take this brush and use the arrow keys to spin it around, but I'm just gonna make this have a slightly more natural edge than whatever I had before. So it's not going to be perfectly smooth because her hair isn't perfectly smooth. It has texture to it. So I'm gonna make this really small and just kind of go down here. And if we don't like something, we can always get rid of it by hitting X to paint back black. We're just gonna add in some of her hair back into it. This is gonna just look more natural than what we did. Now it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough. So if we hide that, save, and go back here, we should have a layer here now added back in. So this is what we had before. This is what we added to it. So that's much better. I'm going to scale these up a little bit and convert this to a smart object. I'm going to group these together and turn it into a smart object. Now in here, we've got Simone's image. Great. I'm going to add a layer underneath this. Actually, I made a group, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna make this white just for now. And then in this group, I'm gonna fix some of the edges a little bit. So we're gonna put these into a group together. We're gonna create a clipping mask to that. So like there's some of the blue of the background on here, which we can see. So I'm just gonna take this stamp tool and just go in here and use the stamp tool to stamp back in some hair color. So it's not blue. Now I could probably use like a hue and saturation layer and just change blue to be like dark or desaturate it. That might be easier, but this works just as fine. We can actually do, porque no los dos. We'll just do both. I hope you know what porque no los dos means. So now we have Simone here. Her hair looks, I think, better than it did before. Go back. So we've got Simone. Great. So how do we want to do this? What feeling do we want to give this card? Now, I like to give things Sort of like what I showed you, that Tyson Beck card. It's very immaculate feeling. Immaculate is a card set, and I'll pull some cards out. Immaculate's a card set where there's a lot of white, and they use a lot of more foil stamping. Let me find one. So like this is a cool card. But you can see in the background, it's got sort of these swoops. It's got a player photo. It's got the name of the card, and it's got a spot for a signature. And it has a lot of symmetry. I like symmetry. And here's another one, horizontal. This is comeback signatures, but it's got a nice white area to sign. It's got 2 photos, place for a name, stuff like that. So in our list of things, you know, we have, let me hide Simone. We've placed for photo, name of card, signature area, flag placement, name of country, details pertaining to the name of card, and then a medal. So in my mind, what's the hierarchy here? So hierarchy for the card, I would say, we'll change the color of some of these if I know how to change the color of text. Place for photo, signature area I think would be next. So we do green for that. Name and country, flag, name of card would be a little bit after that. So we want the name of the card to be a little bit after that. So we're gonna make that yellow. Name and country, honestly, are a lower end sort of thing. Not as important. Flag placement, to me, not as important. It's gonna be like a background element. What's up, Tank? So like on this card, like these spots at the top would be like a cool spot for like a flag. So we can put something in there, have it as a background element. Details pertaining to the name, they're going to be unimportant. It's going to be just sort of details pertaining to what we want the card to look like. So just details on this, these like swooshes and stuff like that. Since we're doing podium stars, maybe we have a podium design. Use that as a shape. In the middle, I think I want to be a little bit more important than some of the other stuff. So I'm just going to make that orange. This is just to show you the hierarchy of stuff we have. We need a photo of a medal. So let's grab that. Olympic medals 2024. I'm not going to do the advanced search. I'm just going to search for the images on here. Now, theoretically, we can just download one. And then just change the color, which is probably what we're going to do because it's easier. I think I've already downloaded this photo before, but we'll use this. So I'm going to add this photo to here. Did I make those cards on here or did I make them on my laptop? I think I made them on my... Now here. So here's the Simone card. I'm just going to steal the gold medal from this because it's right here. Delete this and paste. Boom. Okay, we got a medal now. Great. I'll name this medal. Important to name your layers. Not really, but it kind of is. Oops. Now I moved this guide, which is bad. So I'm going to put this back. Roughly in the right spot. Let's put it in the exact right spot. There. Cool. I'm going to go to view guides, and I'm going to lock the guides so I don't accidentally move them. Okay, we have a medal. We have Simone. We have the name. So we have that. We need a signature area, flag placement, name of country, and details pertaining to the name. Okay, so flags we need. I already have a flag downloaded because I already made a card. Maybe it's not on here though. Okay, so where am I going to get a flag? So I use a website called Envato. Blah, 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 blah. Let me sign in over here. Envato is an asset website that I think is great. Not paying me to say that. So I'm gonna type in American flag. Let's manage preferences, and I don't want any of these. I only want necessary cookies. Use necessary cookies only. So on this website, they've got categories. They've got stock video, photos, graphic templates, graphics. I like using 3D assets. They have a bunch of really nice 3D assets, and this pin's actually really nice. So it'd be cool if we could incorporate this pin somehow. And that's the thing, it's like, I found this is a cool pin. Maybe we can use this in the design somewhere. You know, pins are something they do at the Olympics that are special to the Olympics. But I think I want to use it just as a texture. So I'm going to show all under these 3D templates. And basically just find a flag I like. And this is going to be used as a textural element only, mainly. So it doesn't really matter which flag I get. I like this one. I think this is the one I already downloaded. So we'll just download it again. And with these, I can view the 3D render of it. And a lot of this stuff is done by Pixel Squid 360. Most of the elements on there are done by Pixel Squid, which is a great company. Hey, Godfrey. So I'm going to download at this angle. Download without a license. I don't need to license this for anything. This is just for a personal project. And then I can take this American flag, and this is a Photoshop document. I want to do date added so I can find it. So here's the American flag. So I'm going to open this up because this is a Photoshop file. So it's got a shadow on here I can hide or have on. It's going to be used as a textural element, so I don't really care about the shadow. But they have a lot of other elements on here that you can use. Let me give you an example just while we're here. Size Halloween. Let's see here. There's one graphic I made that there's a couple graphics. I use these all the time. So I'm just trying to find, I think it's this. This is a graphic I made. Jeez, I made this 3 years ago. This is a graphic House of Horrors I made for Sunday Night Football. This boat was an asset I downloaded from Envato. And in these assets, you can go in and you can edit almost anything with them. They have different selection areas. This is a bad example because this is just one thing, one material. Let me go to my downloads and go to... Let me see if I can find something else. I download stuff from this all the time. What is this? Here's a pepperoni pizza. I use this for like a background of something. But here's a pepperoni pizza. So I can go to the selection areas. Oh, this is the same thing. Why you gotta be that way? Find a different one. Here we go. Radar. Here's a radar. Selection areas. So I can select any part of this, and you can select it and tweak it. You can do it by material or by part. So like this, this main area here. You know, I can turn this on. I can use the quick select tool. Quick select. And with this selected, I can select this red area, right? So I can do that, and then let's say make an adjustment layer. That's a hue and saturation layer. Let's say you want to make this for a team, and their team's not green. You can change the hue then with that mask and make it, you know, purple. Maybe it's for the Lakers or something like that. You can change the colors of these buttons. I can go in here and I can select is material. Doesn't matter. Like I can select this red. Or I can select all of these. And you can actually use the magic wand and set it to not contiguous. Oh, I'm selecting the wrong thing. I can select all these buttons that are the same color. You can do the same thing. So maybe we duplicate the hue and saturation layer and set the hue to something else or tweak it. So you can change colors of stuff, which is really cool. So anyway, back to our flag. We just want the American flag as this texture. Great. Save down. We don't need that. So we have our American flag. We want a place for a signature. So let's see if we can find Simone's signature. The way I do that is just on here. Simone Biles Auto. I'll pull it up on eBay. People like to sell cards with Simone's signature on it. Or if anyone has it, this is actually, what is this card? This is an athlete worn memorabilia. So this is like an actual card you would want to buy. Like this is cool. But you can see with this, they've got, you know, signature. This is just a Topps Olympic team. That's the name of the card. Simone Biles Gymnastics, numbered out of 60. So I'm going to save this image to my downloads folder. We're going to go back over to Photoshop. And we're going to drag it in here. We're going to just quickly crop it. So this is the polygonal or polygonal lasso tool, which is a way of selecting stuff. We're going to grab that up there. and we're just going to mask it. I'm actually going to turn that to a smart object, delete it, and then basically delete the card and just paste the auto. So we have the autograph on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the adjustments, and how do I want to do this? Let's use the levels layer. So levels is going to change the dark and white. If you move these over left and right, it's basically making this white point down here start here. So anything that's lighter than 197 is now 255. Same thing here. So if I want anything that's 68 and darker out of 255 is going to be black. So usually I take this and drag this over to get rid of the background. You can adjust the gray in the middle somewhere. And this will give us basically a signature that is just the pen mark. Now, it's not perfect. We'll turn that into a smart object just because we can. I'm going to go to adjustments, hue and saturation. We're going to go to the yellows. We're going to click on this. And we're going to turn the saturation down. But I did it on master. I want to change the channel to yellow. We can select this, and then I can turn the lightness up. So it's taking all of the yellow and turning up the lightness, basically getting rid of that. I'm going to group that together, make a layer mask, grab just a regular brush. I'm just going to get rid of this tiny little area that's right here. I'm like seeing like smudges on my screen, and I'm going, is that part of the signature? Let me get that. All right, so now we have Simone's signature. But you can see it still has this like red area around it, which is kind of natural, which is kind of nice. We might want that. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to hide this one. We're going to keep this one. We're going to have a secondary one where we're going to take this top layer. And to show you this a little bit better, if you're not familiar with this feature, I'm going to add a layer that's whatever color. Does not matter. So I'm going to take this top layer, double click in this gray area, or you can right click and hit blending options. And I'm going to use this blend if gray. So we're going to blend this layer based on gray levels. So the current layer, I want to blend using these tabs here. So if I move this over to the right, what this is doing is it's taking anything that's lighter than 190 on a grayscale and basically making it transparent. It's blending it in with the background. And this is pretty much what I wanted. Now I can hold down the option key and separate these so it's a little smoother. But I basically want to get rid of all of the white, which is what I did here. And if I turn that into a smart object, it is now just this signature. The reason I wanted to do that, I might delete both of these, is because I can add like a color overlay to this. So I can make it, black. So it's Simone doing it in black. And maybe I change it to color so it looks a little bit more natural. So maybe we can fake this where it's, Simone signed these cards with black, and maybe that's one parallel, and then another parallel, maybe we fake it and we say, oh, Simone signed this one with a red marker or something like that, and then hit normal, and then Simone signed it with a red marker. Like that's what some people do. Different color pens. Okay, so we have our auto, we have Simone, we have an American flag, we have a medal, and we have our name. So podium stars. So we need some stars. I don't know how that's going to look yet. So looking at this, I've got Simone here. I'm going to just add a color overlay to Simone because we want this to be pretty fluid for anything. So we don't really care what the photo is. We want it to be exciting. So what I did for other things and what would make sense here is like we use the shape of the medal and we have, Simone inside of the medal. So if we get rid of the color overlay, she's inside the medal, or we have her breaking out of the medal, which is sort of what I did with that other card design, which is nice. But like, go like this, have her come out of the medal like this. She's breaking out of it. It's adding something a little bit more interesting than just having it inside of a shape. Now this is cool. Circles are nice because they're very symmetrical. Let's go back to Envato because I want to look up a podium because this is podium stars. So like, boom, here's a podium. This is great. So I'm going to change this to a PSD, view 3D render, and I want this to be symmetrical. So we're going to look at this. We're going to move this around until it's straight on like this. And we're going to download this. We don't need a license for it because we're not going to use it for anything. This is all just for a little personal project. So we'll take this podium and we'll toss it on here. We're going to use this as a shape mainly. So I'm going to hide the shadow and hide the background, which is going to update automatically because it is a smart object. And we're going to make this larger. So we're going to go like this. So this is what we have. The reason I grabbed this was to use it as a shape. So we're going to use this as a shape. I'm going to add a color overlay to this. That's not a color overlay, that's a layer. I want to do a color overlay. I'm trying to think what I want to make this color overlay. I think white's probably fine. I just want to change my background image. See, then the background image could be like the American flag. We just sort of blow this up. And then we can take just a box and just draw a box on down here. And set the box fill to be, yeah, white. Okay, good. White, we don't need a stroke on it, so we can get rid of the stroke. This is sort of what we have for the podium. Now, this doesn't look like anything, which is true. I'm going to, how do I want to do this? I'm going to make a selection of this podium. And I'm going to go to paths, and I'm going to make a path from that. I think that's what I wanted. And then I'm going to make a shape from that path. Is that what that button does? Some of these buttons I don't use often. Shape from path. I think that might have been what that did. No, it's a fill from path. If we hover over these, they say what they do. Stroke path with brush, fill path with foreground color, load path as selection, mask, create path. Okay. What I want to do, and I'm going to delete this. Oh, I know what I could do instead. So I'm going to turn this into a smart object. I'm going to combine these two. So now we have this sort of rectangle pattern. I'm going to give this a stroke. And I don't like the stroke tool in Photoshop as much as Illustrator because Photoshop rounds all the edges off. Unless you do inside, and then it will stay sharp. But if I do outside, it's going to be this sort of soft layer, which is not really what I want. But it's going to work for this here. So let's do 15 pixels. So 15 pixels looks like that. I can right-click the stroke, and I can hit Create Layer, and it's going to just make that layer. So this is the stroke, which is great. I'm going to highlight this layer and actually mask out that part of it. So now it's actually a stroke. So if I hide it, it looks like this. This is going to be the start of our holographic elements. So I'm going to go pull up real quick in my assets. I have this folder called BJD card stuff, which is pretty much all of my card elements that I have on my website. I'm going to go to my mega parallel pack, and I'm going to go to gold. So they have this thing called a gold refractor, which looks like this. I have a bunch of these. This is what you'll find on like a superfractor is what they call it. A lot of one-of-ones have this superfractor texture to it. Now I don't want that. I just want like a regular gold texture. But I've got a couple weird gold textures in here, but these aren't actually what I want. So I'm going to use the silver pack, and we can just change the color to whatever we want. Actually, not silver, rainbow. Rainbow parallel pack, silver parallel. So this is going to be the most sort of common looking holographic paper parallel sort of deal. So I can take this and mask it to this layer, and now we have sort of this parallel looking texture. Now I'm going to set this parallel to be like 50%, and I'm going to put it on top here. I'm going to add a solid color underneath it of, oh, I do want to make it gold actually. I want to make it white, just so it's a little bit lighter. And then on top of this, I'll add a solid color. This is kind of redundant. But I'm going to have just this sort of gold color layer set to color as the blending mode. But I'm going to do a gradient, because I know I have some black, not black. I just know there's this random black spot in here, which I don't know what this is. I need to just fix this and save it. But there's gold gradient. So I'm going to set that to gold and set this to color or hue or color. Color looks good, except you see how it's a little bit green here. So I'm going to change this color to be less green and hit OK. And that's kind of fine. But I can take these and group these now all together into a smart object. And now we have a stroke. So podium stars. Oh, we can get rid of the metal. We don't need the metal back there. We're changing how this is. I'm deleting all these layer masks. So basically we have Simone up here at the top. And we have podium stars. It's going to be the name of the card. I'm looking at my guides to have her sort of in the middle of the composition, which is great. You know, do I want to put like, do we want to give her a like drop shadow? So do you want to take this drop shadow and like make it really apparent that she exists? There's a shadow here, and you can move shadows around, which is kind of cool. This is making this like very Tops-esque right now. I'm actually going to put this into a group and add the drop shadow to the group. That way it's going to share the drop shadow easily. So if I put any photo in here, it's going to change it automatically. So usually we would have like a logo on here. Thinking if this is a Tops card. So logo intro, no, just new logo. My new logo's in here somewhere. Here, new logo, great. Oh, see, it's adding the drop shadow and looks terrible. So we're gonna put my logo on here. We're gonna take this gradient fill, which is our holographic texture, and put that on top of this, and we're gonna put this up here, just in the corner. And this is gonna then have the same holographic, oh god, I'm duplicating it a bunch of times. Oh god, holographic texture. Now you can't really see it. We can fix that. I'm going to duplicate that and give this a stroke, like a 5 or 13. Let's do 10-point stroke, and we'll just give it a color of white. And we can fix this later and change this later. But we're going to try and make this so it's like a realistic card. Okay, Podium Stars is going to be the name of this card. So let's put that back on top so we can see Podium Stars. Okay, so we have Podium Stars. We have her signature. Her signature is going to go down here. So like, boom, this is going to be good. This should say like Simone Biles. And then underneath it, it should say gymnastics. We can figure out hierarchy later. And then let's put a metal on here. Set this to normal. It was set to multiply. So I'm thinking symmetrically, where do I want to put this? It would look better in the middle, but we can probably put it somewhere down here too. And then have her autograph, you know, next to it. But we want a nice big area for her autograph. So maybe we don't want to put it there. You know, maybe we put it up. And I like to think symmetrically, but do we want to break the symmetry on purpose for this? Or do we just want to do, you know, this and blow up the metal like this and just have it in the background? Like, is that what we want? Does that look best? Do we get rid of the drop shadow? You know, is this a little too not interesting? You know, a little too on the nose for what we want? Probably can't even, theoretically, we can't even use this metal photo because it's copywritten. So if like Tops wanted to make this, they probably couldn't use this metal. Let's hide it for now. This font is way too, it's way too bold. So we want to do something a little bit more elegant. So let's go back to our dear friend, Electronic Auction Bay. So they used Nutriface, which is kind of nice. Let's go back to some Olympic sports cards. Like what do we got here? Is this from 2024? Sometimes the best thing to do is just use a card that is, or use a font that is easy to read. See, they've got these stars in the background, which are kind of nice. Like that would make sense for Podium Stars, like stars shooting into the background. And I did say I wanted to use the flag as just a texture. Right now it's a huge element. So let me hide that. We're just going to give this a solid color in the background of just like anything. We're going to change it. So we've got this texture. To me, this texture though, not texture, the shape for the podium, to me, it's a little rigid. It's a little soft. It looks like a pipe. Like this looks like a Mario pipe. So what we're gonna do instead, we're just gonna make our own podium. Like how hard is it to make a podium? It's not. So we've got this here. I'm gonna hide these. You know, first place, second place, third place. Now it's not gonna, doesn't have to be perfectly exact. Like it's not a real podium. But I think this looks better than that did. Let me just let me hit some buttons real quick. Okay, so this is what we have for our podium. I'm gonna take the bottom of these and drag them up. I'm gonna turn this into a smart object. This is our new podium. This podium kind of sucks. So we're gonna go to image, no, edit, transform, warp. We're gonna warp the podium. So if we hit the warp, we're gonna give it an arch. So it looks like this. That's a little bit too much. Let's do like 25. This is a podium, but it's more interesting now. It's got a little bit of a curve to it, which kind of fits really well with sports cards. We can go to edit, we can go to transform, and we can do again. Or I'm gonna turn that into a smart object actually. So we'll turn that into a smart object. I don't know if it's actually doing it. Warp. And then we can play around with like which one of these are gonna look cool. You know, do I want it to bulge? What's negative 25 look like? Yeah, it does nothing. What happens if we set this to like 25? Okay, it's not really what we want. I think what I want to do actually, yeah, I made a bunch of smart objects on accident, is I want to take these two and slant them 17.7 degrees and 17.7 degrees. Save. Go back, save it here, save it here, save it here, save it here, save it here. So we have this sort of harsher looking podium. But to us, it's a podium. We know what it is. And maybe we can put number 1 here or something like that. But let me go back to this transform to this warp, which should be applied because I don't want to apply this warp. Oops, get rid of that. Let's go into the smart object. Oh, I keep clicking on the smart object and just deleting it. Okay, so this is what we have, which is good. So we need to change it here. So if I go to edit, transform, go to warp, I should be able to edit the warp here, right? So we're gonna do like 15. And this is kind of what I wanted to do. Do 15 here, save. Quit, save, quit, save, quit, save, quit, save, quit. See, I made a, I hit save and quit on that on accident, but that's fine because it's saved. So now we have this sort of podium. Now, it's not set in stone what this looks like. So like we can do whatever we want. But I think this just has more character to it than this podium. And we can do the same exact thing here. We can set a stroke to this. This is going to be just a much more interesting stroke. Do 15, center's fine. It's going to kind of break it when I do this though. Create layers. We're going to take our layer here, put it in the background, hide this on top. So we don't want to do that. Let me delete all this real quick. So we want to give it a stroke. We want to give it a stroke on the outside. Otherwise it won't work correctly. So 15. Great. Yeah, okay. So we'll create a layer. Good. Now we have this stroke. We can give this gradient fill to make it shiny and gold. Now, I don't like at all how it is rounded. I just don't think that looks good. So what we could do instead is do this in Illustrator, to make it a little bit easier. I'm actually just going to give this a stroke, another stroke, put this in a group by itself so it's real fat like this. Now I'm going to take this selection and I'm going to select, modify, expand 15 pixels, and then mask this group. So this, all this is going to allow me to do is I can use this polygonal lasso tool and just sort of click like this, and then make it so it's nice and sharp. So I'm just going to click down here, click to where I think this is going to line up here, hit enter, delete. There. Now it's sharp. That looks better. So that's good. So we've got, we just hit save. We can hit save as. It's important to save. So we've got an area down here for Simone. I can duplicate this layer here. And we're going to give this a color overlay just for now. And we're going to drop this down. So what I want to do is I want to make it so this is where like Simone's name is going to be. And this could be a thing where we use this. Maybe we flip it upside down, put it up here like this, and put it behind Simone. Maybe this is, you know, the exact same. We go like, we take this actually. I like this idea. We're going to take this. We duplicated it. We're going to flip it and reverse it. Put it here at the top, and we're going to put it behind Simone. So this is giving me a lot more of the vibes of like in an immaculate card like this, which is what I like. So cool. We got this shape. This kind of looks like the Hawaii logo. So this would work really well for like Hawaii. So up here, we've got this. We can put the American flag up here now and mask it to this. So this is the top area where we have the American flag. So this is where it can change now for each athlete. And we might change it still in a symmetrical way. Let me duplicate all of this. We hide the American flag. Take the bottom one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to move it over to the side. And we're going to drop it down. And move it up just a little bit. And I want to look at what this is going to look like without this fill. And this is just allowing me to figure out where this is going to line up. So I'm going to look at this arrow part and have it go right there. Duplicate that, drag it over here, and basically wait until this part disappears. Like that. So now we have the American flag. Now I want the American flag on both of these. So I'm just going to put this up here. These don't have to be perfect layers. I can just go like this and then grab the American flag like this. Cool. Now we're going to take this. This is the flag. I'm just going to group this together and just be like side flag area. Save, just because we can. And then this is the top flag area. Or this is the white top. I'm going to give this a drop shadow. And that's going to give us some depth going on in here. Now, right now it's using global light. And global light means it's going to take the exact same drop shadow that I have on Simone or had on Simone and apply it to this. So I'm going to uncheck that. And we can do whatever we want. I'm going to make it like 33%. I like to make my distances and sizes ratios. So like I might make this 15. I might make the size 30. It's just going to give us a really nice 2-to-1 ratio of a drop shadow, which looks kind of nice. And I'm going to add it to the side flag area too. Just going to give us a little bit layers of depth. So we have depth going back. So I think this looks really nice. I'm happy how this looks. My logo looks insane in this area. So we're going to get rid of that. Up here, we can now add, oh, and we can add our stroke back. So this is actually what the card's going to look like. There's little hints. So what we might want to do actually is take this side flag area, duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate that though. I'm going to take this. This is the white area. I'm going to take all of this, duplicate it, and zoom back so I can flip it and rotate it all the way around. Because what we're going to do is we're going to group these together, add the American flag to that. There's a lot of stuff down here. This is just gold strokes. Fill for flag. Shoot, I need to take this copy and these. Yeah, this and this, and group these together. So if I hide these are below. Okay, so these I want to link together. So if I move one, it moves all of them. But now what we're doing is we're continuing this sort of symmetry that we have at the top. So I take the American flag, I can just duplicate it, and we'll put it down here. Do we flip it around? Would that be sacrilegious? Maybe we just do this, and I'll just rotate it a little bit. So it's just the flag. Kind of like that. They're the cool sort of opposites if we did this here. But so we've got this card here. Up here at the top, we can write in podium stars now. So I'm going to put podium stars right here. Podium stars. So this is matching this at the very top. This is going to match my guide. So it's going to be in a nice spot for podium stars. And I just want to make sure everything is sort of symmetrical, which is good. Go down here. See, here's one issue too. So the drop shadow, since I have the drop shadow set to distance 15, it's going down 15 degrees. So these down here don't have shadows, which is a problem. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to give it an outer glow. And the outer glow is going to be pretty much that same exact thing. So we're going to set it to multiply, opacity 33, and then size 30, 40. We're going to delete the drop. Oh, we can just grab the effects like that and add it. Add the outer glow here as well. Oh. This and this are not in the same spot, this top and bottom. So that really only applies to this that needs the outer glow. So this can have the drop shadow, no problem. I just need to add that same drop shadow to these guys. And what is this? This is the color overlay on top. Okay, so we want to take this, group this together. This is going to be bottom white part. We're going to give this a drop shadow. But we're going to give this a drop shadow, and it's going to be -90. So it's going up, so we have this nice little drop shadow, which is great. This part, we're going to blow this part up. So it's the same shape, but it's a little bit different, just so we can have like a more natural looking area down here at the bottom. Now, this, theoretically what I should have done was made this whole thing in Illustrator, because if I zoom in, I can see this is a pixelated shape, because this is a smart object, and 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 a smart object of just this. So I'm going to copy these, delete all these smart objects. I'm going to delete this and just paste this here. Make this larger. Then if I turn this into a smart object, it'll be what I want. And I can add a color overlay just for now. But it's not, doesn't look the same because it doesn't have that same slant to it. And it's slightly off. There we go. So we can go to image, edit, transform, warp. What did we do? We did arch. It's at 50. We do like 25. And then just drop it down here. So it's just really this sort of square at the bottom. And we'll figure out how we want that to look a little bit later. But a bumper auto up a little bit. And I'm gonna figure out how to do podium stars. So there's not a lot of room to work with. What's up, the fanciest cat? So I'm gonna hide Simone. We're gonna do podium stars here. This is gonna be gold. So I'm going to grab this gold texture somewhere, pop it up here, apply it to Podium Stars. Great. Now, as you can see, we've got this nice, super cool font. Not at all. So we need a font that would make sense for Podium Stars. What would make sense? This is usually where I would go to the internet. Let's do one of these. Let me just make sure I'm logged into something real quick, which I'm not. I'm just gonna log into Adobe Fonts. Now we could go to Envato too. Envato has fonts. So I want a font. I think I want. Well, let's do this. I kind of want it to be expanded, so it's wide. I probably want it to be a sans serif font, just so it's easier to read. Kind of want small book, but I like large poster fonts better. So let's use one of these instead. So we just figure out what is going to look good for, let me get rid of that. What would look good for Podium Stars? Let's see here. If you see anything that catches your eye for Podium Stars, I'm trying to think Olympics, Podium. I mean, if we look at the Tokyo 2024 brand guide, I should probably type in Olympics. Here's the Olympic brand guide. See if this pops up and it actually is what I want. Great. Typography. Olympic Sans. So this is like the font that they're using in-house. No, it's not. I don't want this. I want the cool branding. I want this, which I've already looked at. I want the brand identity for Paris. Yeah, see, they use this cool font. What is this font? Oh, see, this says Olympic Sans, which I don't believe that's what it is. Let me go to the source. No, not. Yeah. Is this what I want? No, I want this. Oh god. I do not want that. This is what I want. Fonts. So here's the font that they sort of use, this Olympic Sans, but they really use this Paris black wolf thing. I don't think I can just do this. Or can I? But it's a WAF account. So I'm just gonna kind of like yoink these from the internet and see if I can do something real quick. Because this is a super cool font. Let me do something real quick. What is this? Cool. So we're gonna just sort of yellow this and use the Paris font because I have it now because the internet. Paris 2024 black. Cool. So we'll set this to like 10 point. So it says Podium Stars. That's pretty much in the center. It looks a little bit off. But we can add Simone back. We can add Simone here. But make it so she's underneath the word Podium Stars so we don't have her on here. And I just want this to be bold, and I want it to be a little bit wider and smaller. Podium Stars. Great. Just what I wanted. So up here, it says Podium Stars. There's no texture to this. So I'm going to go back to Envato, and I'm going to look up star pattern. I don't know. Star pattern. I can probably make my own pattern. Oh, we're looking at fonts. My friend Pat took a turn. So these are like graphic assets of like stars. So there's like 3D stars, which are cool. I want graphics. So let me see what patterns they have in here. These are nothing special at all. These geometric stars are kind of nice. But I kind of want to, I don't want to copy, but I kind of want to copy what we found on this card here. This sort of starburst sort of thing that's happening. So I'm gonna look here and see what I might want to do here. Let's go to Illustrator. We're gonna open that up. First time today. So we're gonna make sort of our own little starburst pattern to go behind that, just sort of as texture. So it's not just white. So it has something going on. And let me look at these cards here. Yeah, like little tiny gradients. So I'm gonna make a new document in Illustrator, which I know you guys can't see because it's on my screen. So we're gonna go over here. Illustrator. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to pay attention to starburst bursting from the top of this. So let's pretend this is our card. Let's actually set this up so it's the same size. Our artboard needs to be 2800. Ooh, that's too many. 2800. Great. So this is how big a sports card is. So I'm going to take this star tool and I'm going to hit up a bunch to make a big old star. A lot of spots. Just keep hitting up. It's going to keep adding more sides. And if you play around with these, you can make something that looks like this. So it's like a star radiating pattern. Now I helped one of my students do something like this for a poster. I'm going to kind of copy what that ended up being. They were recreating the Despicable Me poster as an assignment. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go to Effect, Transform, and we're going to roughen this. That's a lot. We're going to roughen the size and detail. It's going to be very small. And I can make it very, very small. But what that's going to do is just going to make it so it has a little bit more variety to it. So it's not so plain. And then what else did we do? And then, you know what we're going to do while we're here is we're going to twist it. 45 degrees, 15 degrees. Does that break everything? Does it just disappear? It just doesn't exist anymore if you twist it. What if we put the twist and then roughen? Maybe I don't want to twist it. Let me get rid of that. Let's go to Effects, Warp. Not Warp. Warp? No, I want to distort it. I do like the zigzag. I think it looks kind of nice. Ridges per segment, 40. What does that do? An error occurred. Awesome. So whatever I did was too powerful. Still too. Hold on. No, I need to. I didn't have it selected. 10. So this looks kind of more interesting than nothing. So we're going to take this and we're going to paste this on top of the top white part. White top. We're going to take this. We're just going to drop it down here. And we're going to blow it up. And go like this. Now, obviously it looks stupid because it's going over the gold part. So we're going to get rid of that. Delete this American flag. And we're just going to save while we're at it here. This obviously does not look great. So we're going to take this and we're going to change the color of this to be 50% gray. Save, come back here, set this to be like 50%. And now it looks like that. that looks kind of stupid. So maybe not. Instead, let's do this. Illustrator, we're going to delete this. That did not work out. We're going to draw a star. Oh God. We're going to draw a normal star. So I'm going to hold down the down key until it goes all the way down to the bottom, which is going to give us a three-sided star. And I'm going to hit up twice to give us a nice normal star. There. So now we have a star. Great. Let's make it a little bit lighter. We're going to make it 75 just to be absolute. And then this is actually nice. So after the fact now in Illustrator, you can drag down and up. You used to not be able to do that. You used to not be able to edit this star. We can make it sharp. We can go and grab the inside outside to make it wide or pointy. And this is all great because you used to not be able to change all this stuff. Now you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to then, how do I want to do this? Go to Effect, Transform, Transform. And what this is going to do is it's going to scale this down and move it however I want. So you can see what it's doing is it's moving down. So it's moving down 80 pixels and making it 90% smaller. Well, if I keep adding copies to that, it's just going to keep getting progressively smaller like this, which is kind of what I want. Let me just add the spacing a little bit more, and you can see what this is doing, which is kind of cool. So I can take this, which is good, and then there is a tool over here. There's a repeat tool. Is there not? Illustrator help, lagging computer because I'm streaming. I want to repeat this in a radial manner. And you'll see what this does is it repeats it in a radial manner, which is great. I want to do the opposite though. Is there a way to do that? Probably. But I can add a bunch of these and basically make a pattern like this. And it's just going to repeat this. Let's do it 69 times just because we can, because we're hilarious. Make it bigger, make it smaller, sort of thing. So we can have it go in like this. Whoops. What was this at? 750? Great. So I'm going to copy this now and paste it and just apply it to this and hit delete here. Then I can take this up and go like this. Podium stars. Now it has these stars radiating from wherever their head is, which is much cooler. You can make it a little bit bigger, but actually the stars are going up at the same pace, so that's fine. I'm going to actually give this a color overlay of white. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to give it a drop shadow then. Ooh, gosh. And we want the drop shadow to be like, we don't want a distance, and we want like a size of like 2 or 3. I basically just want like this slight opacity, but that's not really doing what I want. So we'll go like this and just make this like 50%. Or 33%. So now it says podium stars. There's some actual stars in this now. Great. Should probably have some stars on it for podium stars. Can we take this and duplicate it for the bottom white part here? Oops. So I duplicated and put it in here. This, that is this. And I can take this and sort of do this. So now we have the podium stars. I'm going to make this a little bit larger just so it bleeds off the edge where it says Simone Biles now. Now this might be too many. This might be too much, you know? But what we can do is I'm going to check on a sticker auto. Let me find a sticker auto. Got a lot of my Devin Hester cards out because he just went to the Hall of Fame. And people were wondering how much cards were. So, what do we got here? Here you go. Great. Mine Kamara. Star of the University of Dayton. So, I'm going to measure this sticker at the bottom just to see how big it is, because that's sort of how big the area can be then. And I have this nice Shadler ruler. So, this is 0.6 inches by 1.75. I'm going to go here. I'm going to make a shape. It's going to be 0.6 inches wide by 1.75 inches wide. So this is how big this sticker is, which to me is very small for a sticker. I think Panini got a couple more autographs on their sheets they send out. I think they made the sticker slightly smaller so they can get more autos. So I'm just going to make this white. And I'm going to round the edges of it just a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. Kind of like that. And we're going to turn that into a smart object because we're going to blur it. We're going to copy sort of what Topps does. And this is set to 25. We'll just do a 25% blur. We'll put this... Really, it just needs to be above this. So we'll put it right. That's the white top, not the white bottom. This is why you name things. White bottom part. So it needs to go like right here. And maybe we stretch it down a little bit. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just like, hey, here's the auto area. And I'm going to actually mask it to this. We're going to bump it up just a little bit. There. Now we have this area. Things are looking good. I'm going to duplicate this layer. And what I'm basically going to do is remove the layer mask. Image. No, that's fine. And then basically put this in the background like this. Podium stars. Let's make this black and white. There's a bunch of different ways to make something black and white. I like using
Gradient map.
A gradient map just to make it black and white. Good, good, good. We can add this here. So now it's black in the background, and then we'll go ahead and make it a little bit lighter. But instead of doing that, we're just going to set the opacity of the background image to be like 50%, and then change our background to not be green anymore. So it'll look like this. Is that what we want? Maybe not. Maybe we just want the background to be lighter. 75%. It might look fine with just the background image though. So we'll take these two layers and we'll link them together. That way we can move them together. And I think that looks pretty decent. So now we have podium stars. Let's add to this like 2024 Tokyo Olympics. We'll make this real small. 5-point font should be actually readable on a card. It seems small, but it is definitely legible if you have a card. Okay, so we've got 2024 Olympic podium stars. I think actually what I want to do is this white top. See, I've got this white top, but then the side flag area, I want top flag, top white. These are the gold strokes for both, which is fine. Bottom, top, top, bottom. I want to take this top part and just move it down just like a little bit. Oops. But I want to do that with this white top. And I'm going to line it up. So you see right here, it's lining up. I think that's going to look nice. I just want a little bit more room for the wording. It's really all I want. So we have Tokyo Olympic stars be right here, which is good. I can make podium stars a little bit larger now. Like this. Give it a little bit more room. I don't know what my leading was at. 9's probably fine. Move it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then we take Simone, drop her down just a teeny bit, like this. But then we can also probably drop all of this down just a little bit. So since I named all these, thank God, I can just go boop, 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 down. Cool. So we've got podium stars. I think this is too big. Sorry, this is too big. We're gonna make this 10. I'm changing this because it looks like to me it was too close to the edges here, which I don't want. So we have Simone Biles. You can see her hands going on top of this back layer, which is kind of nice. So she's sort of in between layers, and it has some depth in here. And we might play with it. Might look better if she is below the side flag. I can't move that without moving that. I have to move that, then I have to move this, but I can't move that because of that. There's a bunch of different variables. I think it looks fine. It's more depth. Right, what happens if we give her that drop shadow again? Looks bad and dumb. Let's give Simone a stroke around her. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to hide this. This is our stroke layer. So I'm going to give her a stroke on the outside. And it can be like 5. It'll look like this. Now, you know, from the selection, her hair is really crunchy, so the selection's crunchy. So I'm going to hold down the Command key, select my layer, go up to select, modify smooth. I'm gonna smooth it by like 10, and then mask that. Now it's nice and smooth. Great. Just gonna turn that into a smart object and turn this layer back on. What we're gonna do is we're going to just grab our gradient fill here of gold and put it here. But I don't want this to be gold. I want this to be silver. What's up, Stony? I'm gonna turn this into a new smart object via copy, so it's a new thing. That way I can get rid of this and set this more like that and go back. So now it's silver. So it's got an outline around Simone only, which should look solid. Now I am going to go to this background image. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new smart object via copy with this top Simone image, and I'll show you why I'm doing this. Drop it down here. I might be able to actually copy and paste this. No, I can't. Okay, that's not a problem. So it's new smart object via copy. I'm going to put this down to the bottom. Put it here. What is this set to? 75%? Okay. Delete, delete, delete. 75%. Double click this. Get rid of these. Take this. Double click. Desist. Delete. Delete. Save. Go back. Go here. Okay. I went too fast again. Sorry. I'm going to make a new smart object via copy with this now and do this. So now I have 2 of these layers. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to select Simone here. Expand the selection of this 10 pixels, and then grab some of these hair stragglers and basically get rid of Simone from this image. So it's just the background. And I'm gonna do that with Gen Fill. I'm gonna hit enter, see what happens. Now this layer is behind this layer of Simone, so if it does anything at all, it's still not gonna be able to see it. Yep, that's what I wanted. There. This is actually what I wanted. So we're going to save and go here. So now if we hide Simone, it's just the background. Now there's this weird thing down here. Oh, it's... No, what is that? What are you generating down here? Like, why did it generate this? Like, what is that? It's nothing. What is there paint? Is there paint on the screen? So I'm just going to select this and then hit Gen Fill. It wouldn't be a big deal, but it's behind. You can see it in the image. So it's Gen Fill. It should basically just remove it like that. And then now we have this nice thing of Simone. Do we set this to 100%? Maybe. No. We set it to 80% because we're going to have the holographic texture behind it, and it's gonna look like that. Cool. So it's gonna be shiny. And we kind of want that for, I think, this whole card. Maybe not the whole card. We want these to be shiny as well. So what I can actually do is take these and then set this to multiply, but like, so since our background I made it 80%, I need to make this 20%, and then it's gonna make it look somewhat holographic, but not really. Okay, so we've got Simone Biles here. And actually what we can do, so we've got our nice thing we made here. I'm gonna take that, flip it, and reverse it. And do what I feel like they do in a lot of sports cards, which is mask this to here and do sort of a symmetry thing. Maybe we widen it out. Maybe we widen it out. Take this, make smaller. I'm gonna do it manually. I want the width to be like -125. But I don't want the height to change. Yeah, I want to do no. I want to do this. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of what I wanted, but not really at all. So we're going to delete that. So we're just going to take this, and it's going to say gymnastics. We're going to use the Paris font. Paris. Bold. We'll make this 8. 7. So maybe like a 35. Let's do 55. This is going to be gold as well. As good as gold. Gymnastics. Or maybe I should put on here women's. Just some more content. And I can actually make it a little bit larger because we're not going to have it say Simone up here anymore. It's just going to say women's gymnastics. Simone Biles. And then take this, put this here, drop this down. Simone Biles. Bila. And we can do... I honestly want to make this not black, but I don't have that font. So we're just going to make this like 12. Which is good. We can match what we have at the top. Put it right here. Women's gymnastics. Tokyo podium stars. Simone Biles. So this to me is pretty solid. I'm going to take our top layer up here, these stars, and sort of give the same effect here. I'm going to tweak just a couple little things. So I'm actually going to lower this here so it's coming straight out of the autograph. And then white top. We're going to just sort of mask out this big area. We're just going to sort of do this. There. A little bit better. Let me delete this layer mask actually. I can just use like a regular gradient, like a normal person, and just do this. And then, come on, do this and drag this out. Oh, I hate this thing so much. Great. Okay, just stop. Just gradient. Cool. Okay, women's gymnastics podium stars. Now I can take my logo that I hid and blew up and deleted, and hello, I thought I had guides locked. Mr. Guide. I can put my logo down here now and make it gold and shiny. In the corner. And then the Olympic logo is right here in SVG format. Do we make this gold too, or do we make these? We might make these full color. I think it might look better if it's full color. So what happens if I take this And we'll make this my 3D logo, which is intro logo I-17. Intro logo. Oh no, logo intro underscore I-19. I underscore. I have a 3D version of my logo saved on here in the most terrible fashion. It's this, but cut out. Yeah, it's right here. There. So we'll use this instead because it's 3D and looks cool. Delete this, drop this down. Drop this down, there we go. What's the height of this? The height is 0.157, 0.2. Let's try to make them both 0.25. 0.22 is good enough for me, and we'll just make this a little bit larger just so, because it's the Olympic logo, which I found on Wikipedia, which you can download there because it is just a bunch of circles. So optically they're the same size, but the Olympic logo takes up a lot more space. So I'm just kind of like looking at these to make it, so I want this to optically sit on this line. So make this optically sit on this line, even though it doesn't. And then bump up Simone's name here, so it's not on the same side as these. Or maybe do we take these and, you know, put them here? Really centralize them up. Centralize them? That's not what I wanted to say. Centralize. You do that. No, I don't like that. I like the logos in the corner. That's where logos go. They go in the corner. It just doesn't look very symmetrical. Make this like 11. And put this right here. I like this up a little bit on a layer. Cool. So I think this is what our first card's going to look like a couple hours later. This is the template. You know, what I can do too to sort of fake this. This is what Panini does, I think. I'm going to group these together, and I'm going to give this a bevel and an emboss, a downward bevel emboss, inner bevel. Yes, the size is going to be like nothing. And it's going to come straight from the top. Altitude, let's do 45. Size. Yeah, what if I do that? What if I do the altitude straight from the top, baby? Funny because Akshay Ram posted something on Twitter saying like everybody uses the bevel and emboss tool wrong. So I feel like I'm just doing it wrong right now. Didn't want to do that. Nope. I want this to be 0. All I want to do is make it seem like this is embossed, which now it looks like it's embossed. You can read it a little bit better. I also want to do that with the gold strokes here. With the gold strokes, I don't think I can do that. What happens if I do this? Turn this into a smart object. I don't know why these hotkeys aren't working. See, this is the bottom gold strokes, but I have to remove this from it. And then go like that. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna take this, we're gonna highlight this, take this, invert the mask, and then do that. Okay, so I basically just made it so they're the actual strokes now. So we're gonna grab that bevel and emboss and apply it to the gold strokes at the bottom. So now they have a bevel and an emboss. I might make theirs a little bit more intense. It's actually doing this globally still because I have global light turned on. Oh, this is set to multiply. Oh, so the shadow's different though. What I'm going to do with the shadows, I'm actually going to take a swatch of this color and just make it a very dark version of that. I want to soften it slightly. So then it looks like it's more beveled. But I need to do the same thing with these top strokes now. This is the white top. Select this, take this, mask it out, but invert the mask. So it's just this and then turn it into a smart object. Great. Exactly what I wanted to do. And I take the bevel and the emboss and apply it to that. Actually, I think what I need to do is I need to apply the bevel and emboss to these individually. That might not do anything, but I'd rather do it separately. And then take this top bevel. And this is where I can go back in and sort of change what it looks like. I actually want it to look embossed. It's actually an emboss I want, not a bevel. So I need to change all these to actually be embossed, because that's going to be the effect I want. But again, I might be using this completely wrong. But it's all about just sort of faking the look. And we are going to do a couple other steps to try and make this so this could be theoretically printed. Yeah. See how bad that looks? See how just absolute garbage that looks? Man, why does it look so bad? Is that on the outside? Why is that not on the inside? It's beveled down, but it's applying to that. I don't know, it's fine. It looks embossed, so that's all that really matters. I just need the white part bottom. I need to do the same thing. So we take this, turn it into a smart object, which I did twice, but it didn't allow me to do it because it wanted it to be difficult and not use my hotkeys, which is fine. Bevel and emboss, toss it on there. There, boom. Save, great. So here's our card. I think it looks cool. Let's see what it looks like in a mock-up. So we go back to my cool card pack. We open up these static templates. And then which one of these templates do we want to use is really the question. These are horizontal. I need vertical. We'll just put in this one. I think this one's fine. This is one of my card templates that you can get on my website, which is bradleyjackpacks.com or bradleyjackdesign.com/shop. I'm going to double click here, and this is going to allow me to just drag and drop in our design. So if I go to my desktop and grab sports card template, which I need to rename to not be sports card template, I can drop it in here and put it on the top. Now the template is set up to use 2000 by 2800 files, but this is a 300 DPI image. So I'm just gonna put it up here. And one thing I have, which I don't have in the pack, is I have a file. I have an image of a black glossy piece of paper that looks like this. I'm gonna set this to be screen, and I'm gonna just put it up here in the corner and set it to like 50%. This is just gonna make it look a little bit more like it's sort of a glossy card. Save. If we go back here, it automatically puts it in for us. Great. A little shiny down here, so I'm gonna take this reflection layer and just set it to like 50%. But now we have the card I made in a mock-up, and this is what it would look like theoretically if you printed it, which I think looks pretty solid. So let's make a couple more. We have this one set up. I'm not going to set this up like I usually do. No, let's do that. For the sake of what would we do if we wanted to print this card? Let's do that, and then we'll tweak and make like 6 more. And we can do this differently. So this is Podium Stars gold because she has a gold medal. We could actually tweak. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna take a screenshot of this right here, this gold medal. Yoink. Oops. We're gonna go to our gold layer, and this is all one smart object. So if I edit one of them, it edits all of them. I'm gonna hide this layer, but edit it. So I can go in here, and I'm going to use this as a gradient editor. So I'm going to take this and grab this color, and this and grab a darker color that's sort of a reflection of her skin, but that's fine. We'll make this a little bit lighter. Make this one darker, this one, I don't know, lighter. I don't know if I want that. Let's put that there. So now it looks like this. All it is going to be just a slightly... Oh, shoot. It's a slightly more yellow color. But, however... Okay, we're going to fix this color. We don't want this to be that. We're just going to make this a little more orange. There we go. Okay. I'm going to copy this layer. It didn't change any of our gradient fill strokes because these are smart objects inside smart objects. So the smart objects inside smart objects don't change. So we're going to take this yellow gold color that kind of matches, and we're just going to open up these smart objects again. And delete this, paste save. It should save both of them, which it does. Great. Oh yes, we would like to save that. Top, bottom, double, click, 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 click. Delete, paste, save, down, quit down, quit down. And now they're all changed except for white top, gradient fill. Click, 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 click. Delete, save, click, click, save, blah, 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 blah. Gibberish, gibberish, gibberish. Okay. So now the coloring's a little bit more better. It's more better. Hello, Chris. Guten Tagen. Let me just... How do you say hello in Polish? Witam. Hold on. Witam. Witam. Witam, Chris. Okay, save. So we've got that. We've got Simone. I'm going to drop this down just a little bit because it's bugging me. This is all just eyeballing things that are bugging me. And again, we don't have the metal on here anymore, but because we have it in the photo, I think it'll be fine. I could get rid of my logo and put the metal over there. That might look kind of nice, but I made this card, so we're just gonna keep it the way it is. You're not convinced by your smart objects inside smart objects don't update things. If I update this smart object, but it's inside a different smart object, it's not going to update the other one because that's a different saved file, is what I'm saying. I also just didn't save that mockup we made, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to save this to Simone. No, let's do Podium Stars front. Okay, this is the front of Podium Stars. So what we're going to do is kind of get rid of everything we just did. I need to set it up properly, surely? No, you are incorrect. You are wrong. You're wrong. That's all. It's okay that you're wrong. You're wrong. Don't save. I'm going to... Yeah. So I'm going to take all of these things that we have these nice textures on, and I'm going to give them overlays of white because we want them to be white. Because they're going to... Do we want them to be white? No, we don't want them to be white. We want them to be gold. I technically could leave them how they are. I'm going to give them a gradient overlay. And I didn't save that gradient. The one we want. So let me find that. and then we'll fix it. Okay, we're going to take this. We're going to go here. We're going to bold. It's that didn't hit. New. There. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to act like this is going to be the top layer that we're going to print. So we're going to go and we're going to give this a gradient overlay, and we're going to give it a gradient overlay of the gradient we just made, which looks kind of nice, actually. Drop it down here, drop it down here, take the gradient overlay, drop it on top of the text. I think that's everything. The gradient overlay is full. Okay. So everything has this gradient overlay. The bottom doesn't, though. Or does it? This is gradient overlay. Yeah. Let's look for things that are named correctly. Bottom. This. Gradient overlay. Now it's a flat gradient overlay, which is good. We don't need the bevel and embosses, but we can probably add them or keep them in there just for the sake of showing this. And then we don't need this. We just need to make this a stroke of... We need to give this a color overlay of just white. So white is not going to print. So this is our front file. Good. So now we need to save a back file. So the back file is going to be kind of tricky. But the easiest way to show what that is if I go like this and set this to normal and make this large. This is the first time you've been wrong online. It's, you know, it happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to group a lot of this stuff together. So this is the text, which is fine. What we want to do is we basically want to mask around and erase all of the areas that we want to show through. So one, we can get rid of the auto. We actually don't need the text at all. Yes, we do. We do need the text. We need this. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go back here to the background. Okay, what is this? Okay, top back area. And this is going to be bottom front. Okay, this will make it easiest, and this is going to be Simone. Okay, Olympic greens we don't need. We don't need this. That's fine. We don't need Simone files there. So what we need to do is we need to think. We don't need these layers, but we need to erase these layers. So I need to take this, this, and this, and the top one, which is in a different layer. We need to take all of these and we need to remove them from this background. So I'm going to make a group, and we need to do this, which is going to invert it. So if I hide this, we can see through it. But we're not going to hide it because, yes, we are, because this isn't going to exist. I'm only mildly confusing myself. Basically, at the end of this, we want all of these to be white. We're going to turn this on later. Usually what I would do is I would set these to be multiply on top. Okay, I'm just talking now. Okay, so we need to take out the text as well and remove it from this bottom layer, because the bottom layer, we need to see through all of it. Really, this bottom layer just needs to be like this cut out, which would probably be easier to figure out than what I'm doing, but it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna hide this, which is good, but I need to take this and mask it out from the flag. So the flag is fine. We're gonna see all of the flag. We're actually gonna make it 75%. So that's passing through. Our lines are looking good. If we hide the text, what do we got? The text is fine, we're hiding it, but we need to mask it out from the bottom front part, and we need to mask it out from the top area back. So we can see through that now as well. But we need to mark that out through Simone too. For Simone, we don't need this open, but we need to take this and we need to delete it from this area. And we need to delete it from the areas below it as well. So the side flag area we need to remove it from, and we need to remove it from the top back area, and the bottom front is fine. So now we can see all around the card this shape of Simone's stroke that we have, which is great and exactly what we want. So the front back is done. Simone is back. So the bottom front, we need to take this and hide it, but we need to take anything below it and basically delete it out. So Simone we need to remove. Top back area we need to remove. And then this here. Chris, I made a new layer. I just duplicated this layer, added a stroke to the layer behind it, but then masked it with a selection that I smoothed 10 pixels. That way the selection's nice and smooth. So now if I get rid of this, it's just white, which is sort of what we want. I want to get rid of this layer actually. We want to be able to see through this. So if I make this layer, I take this color fill and make it red. Anything that's red is going to be holographic and see-through, which is what we want. We want the stroke to be see-through. We want a little bit through here to be see-through. We want these strokes to be see-through. So this is good. So this is podium star back. And actually what I can do now is I can take this whole thing, group it together, and just give this a color overlay of white or red. I'm going to make it red so I can see what it looks like and hit save. However, I do want to get rid of the drop shadows, because that's going to clean this up a lot. The drop shadows are good to have on top, but not below. So we're good. This is great. So I'm going to make a new layer now. I'm just going to make a new composition, I mean. And we're going to take this holographic texture we have, paste it here, turn this on. Sure, that's fine. Now if I take my two files and drop them in here, drop. Why is this file the wrong size? Oh, it's the wrong size because I don't have the bleed. Gotta have the bleed on there. Okay, so we'll drop these in here. Drop. Easy peasy. So this is what the mask looks like, which is exactly what we want. So we're just gonna set this to color overlay of white now that we're here. And now we have our holographic pattern. And then we take this top one, we just set it to multiply. This is what the card's gonna look like when you print it. Now, to be fair, this is gonna be a little bit more hue and saturate. It's gonna be more like this. And I've played around a little bit to try and make this the most accurate, but this is what the card would look like printed. So basically on this podium star's front, we can just change the gradient color to be silver or bronze, and we can just change the names automatically. But then we would have to tweak the podium stars, the white mask, which would be kind of a pain to do, but not really, but kind of, but not really. I'm trying to think of how I did this before. An easier card. So let's make some more cards. So I'm going to take just our podium front, and we're going to save this out as Simone. Great. So let's do another one. Let's do, can we get a Noah Lyles photo? Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles. Oh god. Spell stuff wrong, you're gonna get some funky stuff. So Noah Lyles, larger than 4 megapixels. Tools, time, past 24 hours. So I want a photo of him holding his medal, which apparently doesn't exist. Did they do a medal ceremony? Like, where's... I mean, he's got really cool photos. But I want the photo of him holding the medal, which is the whole point. Oh, I bet if I just search Noah Lyles and I don't search by 4 megapixels and just search in the past 24 hours. Look at that. No medals in any of these. Well, I guess you know what that means. Jordan Childs. I want stuff in the last, like, 2 hours. Yeah, I want a single image of her holding her bronze medal. Bronze. Oh, hell yeah. Is this a good image for a sports card? Not really. Is it baller and we're going to use it? Hell yeah. It's not great because her face is covered up. That's really the only thing. But this is a very Jordan Childs photo. So we're going to use the select subject, which is going to select both of these guys as well. But then we can use our friend
Quick Select.
And hold down the option key just to remove them. The option key is giving you the other option for the tool. So the other option for this tool is remove instead of add. So we'll remove this here. This is pretty solid. We don't need the Brazil. And we can go in here and just play around. Shout outs to Chris, because I think I didn't start using hotkeys in this area until you cut something out. What is happening? Oh, Chris is sending me a photo to use. Now I want to use this one. That is very helpful. But I want one with just the one medal. That's very thoughtful. I did just give you a shout out though, Chris. So before I didn't use hotkeys for like these tools. It's B and R, and then you can change the way you look at stuff over here, which is helpful. Now I use B and R all the time in here. So we're even now. Like up here, what do we want to include? Do we need to include this part over here? Probably not. Just fake the funk. If you can't tell what it is, no one else can either. You can hit R so we can do the refine edge tool. B to erase this, but then add it back in with a nice sharp edge where her hand is. Look how good quick select did. Selecting all of this out. Great job, great job. Don't need the ribbon, it's fine. The only people who know the ribbon exists are us. I should probably get rid of that and then put this back in. There we go. Funny thing is, this is going to be like a, theoretically a 2.5 inch by 3 inch card. So like the selection doesn't have to be perfect, but it does. So we're going to cut off some of her jacket here. Nobody's going to know. Make sure when I post these, you can comment, what's wrong with her jacket? Why does her jacket look busted? And you know what I didn't even do either is I didn't edit any of these photos either. So I guess you don't need to. This is the back. Don't need this anymore. No, we need to save this to Jordan. Jordan. Okay. New smart object via copy, right click. Replace contents, replace with. Replace with photo. It was trying to update that smart object, but you can't update a JPEG smart object if you do something to it, like give it a layer mask, because a JPEG can't have a layer mask to it. So that's why I save it out as a separate Photoshop document. Drop this down to the bottom like this. Set it to 80%. Link it with this one and make larger. Oop. Proportionately. This photo, like honestly, if this was a sports card, this would be awesome. And then people would buy it and be like, look, Rebecca and Simone are in the background. Like people do that with cards now. Like there's a card. Let's look real quick. Wemby background. Oh God, I'm not typing. Wemby background. See if we can find it quickly. No. Wemby in background. Victor. We can't find it. It's fine. Yeah, right here. So this photo of Ivica Zubac. But if you click on it, they're selling it as if it's a Victor Wembanyama rookie card because he's in the background. And this is why we're doing the little stroke around the edge, because it looks nice. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit of this just on where it's on white. I'm going to get rid of this edge. And we'll just do it the lazy way too and select modify, contract by 1 pixel, and then just group this all together and then do that. Save. Good. Cool. Okay, here's the question now though. Do we want to remove everybody from this back photo? Probably not. We'll see what it does. We'll see how bad Gen Fill messes this up. Gotta get all of her hair, else it's gonna get confused. And we'll just go down here, select a little bit more. Oops. Like that. Is that everybody? Everybody on board? Expand by 10 pixels, right click. Gen Fill. See how bad this is. It's gonna get confused by yep. I need to add this area in. It saw this and thought it was hair. I also need to grab this because it's gonna get confused. I'm removing so much of this image, I should just take this teal color and just make it teal, to be honest. We'll see what this does though. What is happening? So it thinks there's a racket somewhere. Oh, because I didn't select this. So I didn't select that, so it thought there's a racket. You really have to select like everything you don't want. Like it saw this and was like, what is that? This is just fun times using Gen Fill. It's good to know how to use Gen Fill though, like to know how to do stuff like that. So like, it's pretty decent, except this is, you know, random Russian. I'm just going to just solid color fill this and then give it some noise. But I can't. Oh, there's no point in me doing this. I can just copy this layer and just paste it here. Ugh. Is it huge? Yeah, that's why. How bad does this look? It looks so bad. We'll leave the girls in there. Too much work. So we'll duplicate this. We're going to give it a stroke like that. Select the layer. Select modify smooth. Should be set to 10 already, which it is, and then we can just mask it out like that. Boom. And then we can give this a color overlay of white like that. Boom. Podium stars. Women's gymnastics. Now we just have to change this to say Jordan Childs. Jordan Childs. There we go. Get rid of Simone's signature. Go back here. Jordan Childs auto. What's up, Siraj? These are cool. Yeah, Jordan Chile. I'm looking to see and guess which one of these autographs is going to be the easiest to use. Probably this one. Oh, it's a double country. Yeah. She's a double country. It's like having a name like Bradley Jack. 2 first names. Drop this in here. Pop it up. I'm gonna leave these little these little guys here. Man, they put like, look, because it's like Skybox. They put just like a bunch of like random stuff in the background. I don't know if that's gonna be annoying to cut out or not. Probably not. We'll figure it out. We'll just copy that and then just go back here and delete this and paste. Nailed it. Look at that. Looks perfect, right? All right, we'll go to adjustments. We'll go to levels. Drop it in here. Pull up the whites a lot. It's actually pretty solid. I'm just going to leave it like that and then set this layer multiply. I can't have the 20 on here. All right, fine. Because it's a 2024 card. Why are they signing it that way if it's not there? I can make her signature a little bit larger now. Oh, we didn't number these. I guess we could have numbered them. That's fine. What is going on up here? See, here's a problem. So we did this with the color overlay to make it so it looked good. Oh, God. However, when we smoothed it, it got rid of her nail. So I'm just going to paint in her nail. That way it looks better. Bam, so this is Jordan's now. We can combine these together. So really all we need to do on this back layer is sort of reset everything. So this is something I can fix. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll do it with Jordan here. Oh no, this is the same because it's women's gymnastics, so it's fine. So that's all good. The text is fine. The bottom front is fine. Simone is turned into athlete now because this is a template. And we're going to paste this here, turn this off. Great. So we need to highlight this, delete it. So we're going to put all of this into one group and do this. This needs to just have everything in front. So we can delete this layer mask and delete this layer mask. Add a layer mask back. Add a layer mask back. So they both need this deleted. Well, let's put this into another group, actually. So then the top back area, top back is back here. Bottom front. We need this removed from this. And we need it removed from this. Good. Great. Grand. I'm thinking. This is the bottom front, which is good. So it's the top back area that we're having a problem with because I did not remove the side flag. So I need to, it's already masked there. I can actually just, what the heck did I just hit? I can delete this. And then, what did I delete? I deleted something, didn't I? On accident? No, I did not. Yeah, I did. What is this? Okay, so I need to remove. Very confused now as to what happened. Top back area, I need to remove this front part from. White top. It's not the white top. It's the bottom. There. Just confusing myself right now. Okay, these are the side flags. So I need to cut out not that. Not that. Not that. Bottom front. Man, sorry. Okay, so I need to take this and mask it here, but invert it. So this all looks good, except I need to take this and invert and remove it from here as well. And I need to take these two and remove it from here as well. And then the top area as well and remove it. Okay, so this should look like Jordan. This should look like Simone's exactly if we rename this to be Simone. Okay, so these are the same, but now I made it so it's a lot easier for me to edit the photos. So Jordan's done. We got Jordan. Except Jordan needs to change from gold to bronze. So we need to make this bronze. So we just need to make it more bronze. Could probably just give it a color overlay. Let's do that. Let's do a gradient overlay, group it, color overlay of the most bronze looking color in here. Needs to be kind of like that. That's kind of bronzy. Let's make it a little bit more saturated. Okay, that's fine. So then we can take our gold strokes down here, group them together, give it that same color overlay. But I want to make it color overlay set to color, not set to normal color. That's better. And that's basically just going to make it a that was weird. It's basically going to make it a gradient that has that color then, not just the thing. And I could probably make it a little easier for me to figure out what needs to change color. I could do that by making them labels and coloring them that way, which I might do after this. Oop. Color overlay. Okay, so I need to take this group, this group, this group, and this group, and we're gonna set this color to be green. Okay, so Jordan's done now. So theoretically, we've got one for Jordan now, except, no, we're good. Okay, cool. So what other Olympian should we do? We can do any Olympian, really. We can change the background too to be a different flag. So let's do Rebecca Andrade. Because she deserves one too. Rebecca Andrade, because I spelled her name correctly. Andrade. Spelled her name wrong, right? That makes way more sense. Okay, so women's gymnastics, Rebecca Andrade. Gold. I need this photo without the other girls in it. Ooh, hello, photo. Open a new tab. They cropped this photo dumb. This is where I'm gonna get a message from Chris saying, "Hey, Brad, here's an image you can use." That's 24 hours. What does my brother want? Rebecca. This one's not bad. This one's not bad. Why are all the photos of Rebecca cropped? Like, what are people doing? Ooh, huh? Why is this photo cropped this way? Why are people the way they are? Oh, hold on. I can just do this, hit delete, and hit enter, and it's gonna give me the whole photo. No? Oh, I swear that was gonna work. Usually that works. Refresh. I like that photo. Oh, here you go. There you go. This photo is 300 pixels wide. Beautiful. Let's just get rid of this. Hello, Discord. Chris, I got it's right here though. It's right here. That was a better photo. This is a much better photo. Look at this photo. Her hand's blurry, but it is a good photo. All right. So we can save this now as Rebecca. And then all we have to do is grab the photo we want to use. Drop it in here. Duplicate this. Hit Lorem Ipsum text for no reason. Drop it in here. Really weird. New smart object via copy. Select subject. Boom. Selected everything for us perfectly. We'll just do a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. And a little bit here. That's not really going to matter, is it? Good enough. Desktop. Come back here. Right click. Replace contents. Here. Boom. Good. Okay, take this. Put it down to the bottom. Set it to 80%. Ooh. I need to do this, though. I need to do that on Jordan's. That's fine. Let me open up Jordan's file real quick. I just need to remove the background. There, that's better. It kind of doesn't matter, though. Okay. So we take this, and we hide both of these. We put Rebecca where she needs to go right here. Duplicate it. Take this. Take a stroke. It's all crazy. Select, modify, smooth. And actually probably should do that after I size this up. So she fits kind of like that, a little bit over. Okay, so now we delete this, and now we select, and now we modify smooth. And then do this. Delete, take this. Color overlay. Gold. Oh, it's set to color, so it looks bad. I set this to normal. I don't think we can get a signature for her. like she doesn't have signatures. Rebecca Andrade. Auto. Nope. Hey, look at that. It's a photo. Save image to downloads. Take away this auto. Take away this. We'll leave this for now. See what happens. All right, we'll add this on here. We'll put the levels layer on top of that. Not do what we wanted. Let's do it this way, and we'll use a
Radiant map.
It works out well this way. In this house, we do not like the whatever stupid gradient they call this. I'm just gonna drag this all the way down here and do one of these and do one of these again. Her auto's not as good, but it's on a photo. What can you do? Like this, boom. Okay, and boom. Rebecca Andrade. Okay, so we'll take this, group it together. We'll take this over here, go like this. And then we're going to give this a color overlay set to screen, which is only going to apply to the black part. And then we can make this, you know, the same color as the other ones because we can. Except it's multiplying on top of this. There. Rebecca Andrade. But her stuff is all set to bronze, which is not what we want. So I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to go to green, and I'm going to... Oh, dang it, it does it for the whole thing. I'm going to have to name them something. Make it easier. Oh no, they're all right here. Just change all these, just undo all of these color overlays. So now everything's gold again. Save. Now we just go back to kind. We grab Rebecca here. Go back here. So it took us forever to do this, but all I have to do now is I drop Rebecca in here, grab this, and then I just put it here and invert it. And that should be just done. Ready to go. Great. So I don't have to edit all the other ones. It's already good. The only thing I would have to edit would be women's gymnastics. So this would be back Rebecca. Oh. Rebecca's not from the United States. So we're going to go to Envato. Brazil flag. I don't want graphics though. I want it to be the same. So I want 3D. Theoretically, I want to find the same exact flag. It's probably this actually. And download. And download without license. It's fine. So now I can go to my American flag here and just hit replace contents and then grab from my downloads the Brazilian flag. And hit OK. And boom. Brazilian flag. Oh, PSD download? They give you these layers so you can edit the colors of anything. I showed it a little bit ago. Like here's a really bad example, but like here's a podium I downloaded. So I can go in here to these selection areas and you can change the color of anything. You basically just use this as a mask. So I used as an example, back in the good old days, I made this for STN and like I downloaded this ship and changed all of the colors of these ship things to be this specific color. It comes in real handy. So if anything has a different texture or different material, you can go in and basically use that as a selection and add a adjustment layer to it. Okay, so we have the Brazilian flag here now, which is much better. suited for this. Just can't really tell because it's there. That's better. So there, Rebecca is done now. So you can see we just added another one very quickly. Podium stars. So let's do more. Chris, do you have any Olympians, or if anyone's watching in chat, do you have any Olympians you want me to do? I've already done Suni Lee a bunch. I want to do Noah Lyles. Like, have they done the medal ceremony? Oh, here we go. No, this is... No, that's from time trials. I mean, really, if I want to do one of him, I just need to do... Oh, they haven't had the medal ceremony. Okay. Where's him doing the Kamehameha? We're going to put that one on here instead. 24 hours. Yeah, this photo. Or should I do the one with him? I mean, this is a really good... This is a photo. This is a photo right here. Open it, right click. We got anything over here? Nope, nope. Scaled. What about regular metal? Not scaled. Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh god, we lost it forever. Looks too mad in that. Yeah, this photo. He's not really in focus though. Or did they just scale the crap out of it? Okay, yeah. Can I go in here and just change this? Nope. St. Lucia Sprinter. I spelled her name wrong. It doesn't matter. Julian Alfred. That's a good one. And I want from the past 24 hours. And boom. Was that the last 24 hours? No, that was 2 days ago. Past week. But have they done medals? They haven't done medals, though. Yeah. Okay, good. Hold on. So in my mind, the whole point of the this card set is photos of people with medals. So this is a terrible photo from St. Lucia. Podium. See, this is where things come down to. Can we find a good photo? Let me open this into a new tab. What is this photo? This is a screen capture from something. All right, well, let me do Katie Ledecky. No, we need like another, like, I want to do more different countries. So like this is a good one. Who else? Okay, the Pixarmers medal ceremony, not good. All right, is there anyone else who did well? Like, what are other important individual things? There's always swimming. Can do Steven Nedorozic. Steven Nedorozic, who got a bronze as well. But we have two photos already. We've got a bunch of people. Oh, Kristen Faulkner would be good. But do we have any non-Americans? Oh, this photo is just stupid. Like, this is just like, yeah. This is a card by itself, though. You know? This is just a card by itself. Just this photo. I mean, he's holding 2 medals here. Do we have a larger image of this? Hello, tiny image. What happens if I delete this here? Do you get large? Yes, you do. You don't get large enough, though. Alicia D'Amato. Yeah, the photo is insane. I'll do Alicia D'Amato. This is a really heavy really heavy gymnastics stream. I want images from the last like 6 hours. Oh, close. She's not looking into the camera though. Ah. Well, we could stick to Americans. Ben Fink. Yeah, we'll do Ben Fink. Ooh, this is a good one. Look at that. Hard over chest. It's more American than this. Kneeling down. Oh, this is what I like to do. So this website is just pulling it from this website here. So if I get rid of this, I can go in here and replace all of the F or all of the percent to Fs and make it : / and go in here and just go like this. And this should give me the bigger image. Theoretically. And get rid of .jpeg. This should give me the full res same image, whatever, it's fine. Okay, this is Ben Fink. No, not Ben. That's my friend's name. My friend's name is Ben Fink. What is his name? Shoot. Matt Fink. Bobby Fink. Bobby Fink. Okay. Sorry. Ben is my friend's name. Bobby. Great. I don't think we can find it. If we can find an autograph of Bobby, that'd be great. So he did the men's 1500 meters free, which is swimming, which we should be able to figure out. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Drag this on here. There. I was like, oh, okay. Don't know why that happened, but it's fine. We will cut him out. I'm going to do this very sloppily. Click. There. Not even going to edit it. Just going to say YOLO, it's fine. Place contents. Guess I should do probably do Katie Ledecky after this. Just because it's Katie Ledecky. No, I want this and shoot. Delete all these. Don't need these. Let's do pick. This will probably be the last one I make, and then we'll mock them up and put them. See, he doesn't have. He doesn't have the metal up here though. You can't even see the metal. Maybe we'll just take those 3 we made. We'll just mock those up. We'll mock those up and then put it in some. Well, they're already kind of mocked up. We'll put them in a case. Let me see what case I have. Need to go to VJD card stuff. So we can put it in one of these static templates. I do have some of these. I don't have any of these with 3, do I? It's just 2. Let's do this one, and then we'll do straight on for Rebecca because we can. So I'm going to double click this. We're going to open up one of these again just for a second to grab this holographic texture. We can do different holographic textures for each, which is fun. But if I save this and go back here, so this is going to be Rebecca. So Rebecca, oh God, that's not where that goes. So Rebecca, we can just drag on here. This should be correct. Scale it up slightly, like that, so the mask is complete. Set this to overlay of white, and then set this to multiply. And we can see the stuff behind it. So we'll take this, we'll just make this a little bit less saturated, and we're going to duplicate it again and set it to screen. Podium stars, cool. What happens if I take this and set it to color and put it below it? That looks way better. Except I don't want the color to be on that, so I can't really do that. I mean, I can just go like this and, you know, just kind of do one of these. Just fake the funk with it. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. Okay, so here's Rebecca's card. We'll make Rebecca's a black rookie card, which looks cool. And here we will grab, sorry, I need to open this back up. Grab this. We'll use a different parallel for each of these though. So what is this? This is bottom left. So I've done a lot of Simone cards, so we'll put Simone on the back burner for this one. Because the Jordan one just looks too cool. Multiply, multiply. This is not set to multiply. This is set to normal, and then we set this to color overlay. White, great. Duplicate this, set this to color. I think that's fine. We're gonna change this though. We're gonna change this silver parallel. So under here, if we go back to my mega parallel pack, let's do parallel pack 3. I got some cool ones in here. I like this oil slick one. Put that on here instead. Now it's got this oil slick texture to it, which looks kind of cool. So we got Simone down there. It might be a little bit too bright. So we can just dumb down these highlights just a little bit. But it's displaced and stuff, which is cool. So here we will paste this, go in here, replace her parallel, Jordan's parallel, with shimmy shimmy ya. Shimmy shimmy ya, shimmy ya, shimmy yay. We'll do shimmy. For these, set 75%. Take this off, save down. Save. Oh, well, I saved it, but I need to put Jordan on here. Jordan podium. Put this below. Go like this. Color overlay, because I forget what I'm doing. Take these. Blast this up a little bit. Add scale. Take this top one, set it to multiply. Take this again, and set this to color and multiply. A bronze. Save. So then we go back here. We got Jordan, Childs, and Simone. Podium stars. What I can do now actually is take this cool guy, put this in the background, set it to like 25%. Do the same thing here. Boom. Let me put this underneath the vignette. Cool. So it's a rookie card for her. These are the 3 I did. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Save this, save this. Let's do one more. So if I post this, I got 2 here. Let's use one of the animated ones as well. No, it's fine. I don't need to save that with the large files. We go back here. So I've got these here, but it should say motion somewhere. I have these already opened somewhere. Let me just open up After Effects. It'll just be the first thing in there. And then we can animate each of these and export a little video of each. This will take like 4 seconds to do. 3D mockup animations. I'm going to take this background by itself and save this out. Now, I could animate the background too, but we're not going to do that. That would take 30 more seconds to do. Name this whatever I want because I do not care. Come on. Go faster. Turn all these on. Okay, we'll save this out as... Oh, I didn't put on there like Brazil. Should probably do that. We have the technology. These are Photoshop files. It is Brazil, right? I'm not ripping Rebecca. Oh god. Brazil. Good. Brazil. All right, so we'll take Brazil. We'll make Brazil much smaller. We'll make it like 5 point. Make it like 220. And like 330. And then just drop it like this. So now it sits there nice and easy. Great. Save. Go down. It'll save here, which is nice. Then we can go to these cards and make the same quick edits. United States. Save. Quit. Save. Quit. My favorite Olympic sport, the favorite Olympic sport to watch is recently is female gymnastics because we're great at it. The main thing I watch is that I have been watching is this and swimming like everybody else, the track and field sports. I watch the ending of golf because I golf. So I don't know if I have like one. It's like mainly it's like you watch for women's gymnastics because it's women's gymnastics. Okay, let me save this out as... It's saving out on this screen, but it doesn't really matter. Duo. Okay. Let me go into Photoshop now. Let's open up those 3 fronts. Front, front, front. Should actually do the mock-ups. Actually, so we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. What size are these? These are the right sizes already for what I want to do. So I'm going to save this. It's going to take a year, apparently. Rebecca mock. It's a little blurry, I can see over here just from scaling it up, but it'll be fine because we're going to make it smaller anyway. I think my computer's just mad because I have so much stuff open. Okay, we don't need to save. We need to save this out as Rebecca, though. So we're going to save these 2 additional mockups out, and then we're going to toss them in After Effects. We're going to render out some video. We're going to render out one video of them sort of cycling through. Just need to do Simone mock and Jordan mock, and we should be pretty solid. Just save that here. Simone mock. I'm spelling this stuff absolutely terribly, but it doesn't matter at all. And then save this out. This photo of Jordan is just hilarious. It's so good. Jordan mock. Okay. So we're done with Photoshop, kind of. So in After Effects, these 3D mockups, so they're really easy to edit. So I'm gonna do this card wheel one. Card comes in, kind of rotates, and then goes and flies away. Like a 5-second animation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this background motion file, send it to the back. So this is gonna be the background motion. So all I have to do now is I can just right click this front card footage and replace that with any file. So I'm gonna do it with Jordan's mock. Boom, here's Jordan's card. So all I have to do is go to File, Export. I don't want to select that, I want this selected. So I make sure I have my composition selected, File, Export for Media Encoder. And what we're gonna do with that is we're just gonna export that, which I have here. We're just gonna change this to save to my desktop. I'm gonna name it Jordan, hit OK. It's gonna take 4 seconds to do because it's a 5-second animation. As long as it connects to the thing. 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds. Take a hot second to do whatever. So I'm gonna right click this and I'm actually gonna just replace the footage again. Just gonna select a different card. Wait for this to finish. So with all this stuff happening, with me streaming too and all this stuff, it only takes 30 seconds to do. File, export. Oh, I gotta make sure I have this selected. I'm gonna save too. File, export, media encoder. Just be named card wheel, which is what this is. We'll do Simone wheel, just in case I have something randomly saved. Simone that way. That's exporting. Right click, replace footage file. And we'll do Rebecca mock. And since these are all the same size, they're all 2000 by 2800, I can just easily export them all. So I'm gonna wait for this to finish, export it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw these all into one comp together, back to back to back, so then they all cycle through. So when I post this, I can post the cards and then them all flying around. So file, export. Oh, see, you did it again. File, export, media encoder. Card wheel. Save this to my desktop. Name it Rebecca. I'm not gonna have anything with that name. And then I'm gonna make a new composition with the same composition. What is this composition size? I feel like I don't know what buttons to hit. Okay, it's 1080 by 1350. So I'm gonna make one that's 1080 by 1350, which is on this screen, doesn't matter. Here you go. But we're gonna change the composition settings to be 15 seconds. The reason we're gonna do that is because we're just going to, if media encoder is done, which it is, we're just gonna drag these 3 on here. They're gonna be the exact same size. Then we're just going to figure out which ones to stack. So I'm just gonna put this here and drag this over and put it here. So I'm gonna do actually, zoom in here. I'm gonna cut down the time a teeny bit. But basically it's on, it's off. Then we come over here, and then just wherever Jordan comes on. Oh, I guess a frame off. So if we go like this, it's just gonna go whoop, whoop. And Jordan zooms in and flies out to here. Then we take this guy and we pull Rebecca over. So then Rebecca flies in immediately, and then when she goes away, Simone will come back in. This will loop nicely. File, export, media encoder. I can change this now to be trio. Cool. So we have our Rebecca mockup, we have our duo mockup, and we have our nice trio video, which is already done. I've got a Mac Studio. Jordan Childs, United States Women's Gymnastics. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. About this Mac. Yeah, I've got a 2022 M1 chip Max. Mac Studio is what I use. Cool. So I'm going to quit out of this, and I'm not going to save this because I don't feel like it. But yeah, so let me put all these in a folder together. So this is what we got. This is what we made. So you got our duo photo. Duo of Jordan and Simone. Then we've got Jordan flying in solo, which is nice to have. Got Jordan mock-up, what it would look like theoretically if we printed this. We've got Rebecca flying in. We've got Rebecca's mock-up static, which is also kind of nice. We've got her mock-up. We've got Simone flying in, Simone wheel. We've got her mock-up. And then we have the trio together. So I'm going to get these posted online. I'll toss these on Instagram and Twitter, see if people like them. Theoretically, if I don't know, contacted Rebecca Andrade and wanted to get cards made, theoretically I could buy this photo, remove the Olympics logo probably, Photoshop a couple things out. Chris is not going to like these. I think if I wanted to make these, if I wanted to make this card, theoretically, like as a graphic designer, if I wanted to make this card, probably what I would have to do is I'd have to buy this photo, contact Simone Biles, have her sign off that she wants to do it, pay her to autograph these, and then I think I would need to remove this. I would need to Photoshop this out. I'd probably need to Photoshop this out, and then maybe even this. Chris, you think I would even also need to Photoshop this out? Like, is this copyright? Is this a copyright? I feel like I would need to do this. Yeah, I need to have a great year next year and then get me the better chip. Like, I think I would have to like Photoshop this shit out and then I would be good to go. But anyway, that's what we, that's all I got for today. Just 3 cards made. Thank you guys for hopping in. Kevo, what do you got? Caught the tail end. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing the pre-comp and then replacing the render. I figured it would be okay. I understand you can do the pre-comp and do that. I just felt like exporting files. That way I didn't have to duplicate a comp. Oh, it says Tokyo Olympics. The Fanciest Cat, no, I got rid of the Discord. I nuked it. There's nothing going on it, so I got rid of it. But yeah, thanks for joining me again for another rousing stream. Hopefully I can do these once a week or something like that. It'd be cool. I like the ability to stream longer than 90 minutes like I was before. But if you guys aren't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Share it with people you think like sports card design or sports cards. I will see you guys next week. And make sure you share these designs as well. Oh shoot, it says Paris. Hold on. Time. Time out. Crap. Crap. Chris, where have you been this whole time? Making me look like an idiot. Thank God. Okay, hold on. We're staying on for 4 seconds. That's a lot to edit. All right, I'm going to edit that. I'm going to edit that in post because I have to edit this. I have to edit that here. It's embarrassing, Chris. See, that's all messed up, so I got to edit that here. This is a smart object. Paris. So I have to take this and then I have to fix it everywhere I removed it. Which is just that one spot, right? God. Yes, thank you. The project manager could have done a better job with that. What's going on? Did I not save that? What is going on? All right. Maybe stay on. I gotta fix this now. Okay. Delete here, delete here, delete here, delete here. There. Now it says Paris. Now I can save this out. I gotta redo all the renders now. Well, anyway, okay, I'm gonna fix this in post. I'll fix this later tonight and get it posted. Becca Mock. I'll post the videos later. I don't know. You threw me for a loop there, Chris, but that was good. Yeah. Don't wanna do that. So I'll save this one out. Good thing everything's smart objects, so you know I can just fix things quickly. Wish I would have saved the file now for that After Effects, but I didn't. Where's this at? This is Rebecca. Place. Okay, with that note, I will see you guys next week, hopefully. Again, now that we're actually getting off, make sure to like and subscribe and share this with people you like. And hopefully they will comment and say they noticed I said Tokyo 3 hours ago instead of now.